Hello students, Jai Hind, very good morning. Welcome back to our e-learning program. As you all know, dear student, we have in last lecture completed one chapter of physics, chapter number 10, light, reflection and refraction. That chapter we completed. Now, dear student, as I have already told you before we started lecture of physics in chapter 10, that as far as physics is concerned, there are 4 chapters in physics. Chapter number 10, 11, 12 and 13. Chapter 10, 11 are of optics, and chapter 12 and 13 are totally given for the topic of electricity, electric current and its effects. The entire discussion is regarding electric current and its effect in chapter number 12 and 13. In physics, both the department, either you consider optics or you consider electricity, both are very important for you. Carrying good weightage of marks also, both the chapter. Now, dear student, in today's lecture, we are targeting to start chapter number 11. Chapter number 11 also deals with all optical phenomena, understand, which you come across and see in daily life. But you know one thing very well, dear student, why the title of the chapter is Human Eye and Colorful World. Why the title? Because when I am talking that you are able to see all natural optical phenomenon, and some are also man engineered and architected piece of work also you are seeing, dear student, where actually you will see some of the marvelous results, understand, by optical phenomena, maybe reflection or refraction. But all this optical phenomenon, either formation of rainbow, blue color of the sky, understand, scattering of light, the crimson color of the sun at in the evening, all these optical phenomenon, dear student, are ultimately observed by our eye only. Our body has got, understand, all sense organ. In this all sense organ, eye is the most delicate and most important sense organ of our eye, because through eye only, dear student, we see the colorful world around us. Through eye only you can feel, understand, you can feel the beauty around you. That's why the title is Human Eye and Colorful World, understand, because all optical phenomena are ultimately observed by your eye only. So chapter 11 today, dear student, lecture number 1. Okay, lecture 1, chapter number 11. The title of the chapter is Human Eye, okay, and Colorful World, because the world is colorful because we can see it. Otherwise, how can you see the world? That's why the word utilized is human eye and colorful world. Okay, dear student, what we are targeting to cover in today's lecture. Our today's lecture is totally given for discussion of one particular topic, because when the title of the topic is Human Eye and the Colorful World, you, dear student, need to understand the importance of this most delicate sense organ the nature has gifted you. Let us try to understand its internal structure. What is actually the structure of our eye? What is the meaning of near point, far point? What is the meaning of power of accommodation of eye? All these topics which I mentioned come under the one category title of the topic, structure of human eye. Okay, dear student, now when we are discussing this topic of structure of human eye, try to understand one very important aspect, dear student. If you observe, you at home stand in front of the mirror. Our eye is undoubtedly protected by our eyelids, you all know. If somebody tried to hit you, suddenly in your eyelid closes. You all know that very well. The already one protective cover by nature is a gift, that is your eyelid. Understood? Now, dear student, try to remember, when you are looking, you are trying to visualize your eye from front. You all know we are discussing topic number 1, dear student, that is structure of human eye, okay, and related topic. Now, if you are observing your eye from front, actually our eye structure is like this, dear student, okay. If we observe from front, this can be called the front view of eye. This is front view of our eye. Understand, where you are seeing the completely transparent, you are seeing the white portion here, and inside that you are able to see your eyeball, that you all know very well. Understand, this is the white portion you are seeing, and this is your eyeball, dear student. When we are discussing today, understand, the complete structure of human eye, how we are going to target. We are not trying to see the human eye from front, but we are trying to see the human eye from side view. Actually, what is inside our human eye, that is what our target is today. We are not thinking of the front view. We are targeting the side view of our eye. What is inside our eye when you look from side? Okay, dear student. So remember one thing. Just try to understand, okay? Let us try to understand the transverse section, the side view of our eye. How the side view look like of our eye. Understand? See, dear student, I am just trying to explain you through diagram. We are just understanding the side view of the eye, okay. If you observe from front, dear student, okay, we are just trying to understand how our eye looks like from the side view. See, dear student, try to understand one very important thing which I want to discuss. Our eye, one thing I already told you, if I just, our eye is no doubt protected by the eyelid, that I told you. Okay, girls will like this figure. They are seeing in beauty parlor. Okay, but if we see from the side view, our eye has already got a transparent layer. This transparent layer actually which is protecting our eye. This transparent layer protecting our eye, understand, is called cornea, dear student. This cornea is actually one protecting transparent cover. You understood, which actually protects your eye. What is its function during the day? Understand, you are not throughout the day sitting in your room. You are roaming here and there, going on terrace, going on road, going on traffic. So sometime, dear students, some impurities, dust, whatever, when try to attack your eye, understand at that time your eye is protected by this transparent, understand, cover. This transparent front cover on your eyes is known as cornea. Okay, after, just if you observe, dear student, properly, just after the cornea you can see an aqueous humor. Okay, this is aqueous humor. Okay, just before the eye lens. You understood this? Aqueous humor, another protecting cover. Now try to understand one more thing, dear student. Just after the aqueous humor, you are able to visualize, understand, iris. I am just showing the iris here this way. Actually, dear student, what is the function of this iris? Actually, this opening which I have shown here, this opening of the iris is called pupil. Pupil doesn't mean any physical organ, dear student. Pupil is just opening of the iris muscle. When iris muscle expand, they closes the pupil. When they contract it, they open your pupil. Okay, if you are at home and you try to visualize your eye by standing in front of the mirror, it looks like this way, dear student. Understand, you will see what you say, peacock colored, understand, iris, like you are able to see this is black portion, you are able to see a circular ring of green blue color. Understood? And here some little more. Okay, you are able to see this way. If you watch your eyeball properly, this green blue colored, understand, assembly of iris muscle, and this opening which you see the black spotted, when you observe your eye, that is actually pupil. Okay, this is pupil. You understood? When you see from the front, now this iris muscle when expand, they closes this opening which is called pupil. When the iris muscle contract, they open your pupil. Why iris muscle has to do this? Because to protect your retina, we are discussing in later half of this lecture that why iris has to control the opening and closing of this eye pore which we are calling pupil. Why? Because our eye is not allowing sudden change of light, means sudden alteration of light to enter our eye. Our retina will not allow, otherwise it is going to damage a sudden fluctuation and alteration of light when falls on your retinal screen. It is going to damage your light sensitive cell. That's why your iris is allowing only that intensity of light which is suitable. Alteration of the intensity of light is suitable for your retinal screen. That much light is allowed only. So sometime it happens, dear student. Understand what? That suppose you have gone to see any picture in theater where complete darkness, and in that cooling you see the picture for 3 hours. Your eye was constantly focused, understand, on the screen. Now the moment you come out of the screen, means you come out of the theater after the show is over, the moment you come out, you feel like that you are not able to just open your eye. Why? Because you were in that darkness of the theater hall, and when you come out in bright daylight, so this sudden alteration of light, if enters your pupil and falls on your retina, it is going to damage your retina to irreparable level. That's why it happens, dear student, that you come out from theater or even from dark room, when you come out, for some moments, for some period of time, you will try to close. You are not trying to close it. It is an, understand, voluntary action. That's one type of protecting, that your eye closes. And slowly your retina and your iris, means your pupil, try to adjust to the bright daylight, and then you are able to see the in bright light everything around you. The similar opposite thing occurs, dear students. Suppose in hot sunny day you are playing outside some sports, understand, means your eye, your retina are adjusted to that intensity of light where you are playing outside. The moment you must have experienced this, but today the students are not sparing time for the play. The day they are, the moment they are free, they are just taking the mobile and watching all games. That is all, understand. I must say you should stop. You should have physical exercise. So now what happens? Suppose you are playing outside on a bright sunny day. The moment some calling from home, mother is calling, and you enter your home, what you feel? Suddenly so you feel like you are not able to see anything, means even if you are able to see, it looks dimmer. Why? Because you have entered from that bright sunny day to darkness of the room, and your retina cannot quickly acclimatize and adjust to that sudden alteration of light. So it happens, dear student, that after some moment you are able to visualize accurately all things around you. Understand? So why? Because your retina is a very delicate and sensitive screen, needs to be protected from any minor or macro damage. That's why no much alteration of light should fall on your retina. That's why, because the light travels through cornea, aqueous humor and pupil, and from here it is going to fall on your retina. That's why, understand, the iris will control the opening and closing of the pupil. Understood? That way your eye adjusts to that particular environment. Understood? So that's why what is the function of iris muscle? To adjust the opening and closing of your pupil. You understood this? Now dear student, just after pupil you will see eye lens. Okay, you are able to see eye lens here. This eye lens, dear student, are controlled. Its function is control. Actually, function of eye lens is to concentrate the image on the retina, like we have studied how the image gets formed on retina. You know, dear student, very well. Now this eye lens, understand, the like pupil is size of the pupil is controlled by iris muscle. Similarly, dear student, the size of the retina, that means thickness and thinness of retina, is controlled by the ciliary muscle. I am showing it here. These ciliary muscles, okay. These are ciliary muscle. What is the function of ciliary muscle? And this is your eye lens, dear student. Understand, the size of your eye lens, that means the thickness and thinness of the eye lens, is controlled by the action of these ciliary muscles. Why it need to be done? Why the eye lens needs to be made sometime thicker or thinner? Because, dear student, you have to observe the objects, understand, near to you and far away from you. So when you want to observe the objects nearer to you, suppose I have this material in my hand, and if I want to read the letters, I have to adjust this way because I want to see the letter. If I want to read it, I am not going to keep it far away. Understand? So similarly, dear student, if you want to observe the object in your surrounding, or you want to observe the object far away from you, in both the cases, when you want to see the object nearer to you, you have to decrease the focal length of your eyes. That means you have to make your eye lens thicker, to decrease the focal length. Understand? So that is done by the pushing of these ciliary muscles. Now when you want to see the object far away from you, at that time you have to make your eye lens thinner to increase its focal length so that you can observe the object clearly and distinctly even they are far away from you. So dear student, our eye has got this natural gift that is called the power of accommodation. One of the topic, dear student, under this, okay, power of accommodation. What we understood by power of accommodation, the ciliary muscles has got the capacity which are attached with the eye lens to make our eye lens thicker or thinner, either to increase or decrease the focal length according to the requirement. That is done by our ciliary muscle. This capacity of the eye lens to adjust according to the requirement, that is known as power of accommodation. Okay, so that is done by assembly of ciliary muscle and lens. Okay, dear student. Now if we come to your retinal screen, Just try to understand, dear student. Suppose this is your retinal screen. Okay. Now what happens to your retinal screen? Try to understand one very important thing. Your retinal screen is behaving, understand, like the photographic film of a camera where the image is formed. You understood, dear student, right? And always remember one thing, image persists for just 25 seconds, understand, on your retina, not more than that. Understand, it just remains on your retina, understand, just for 25 seconds. Otherwise, the what happen? One image, suppose I look at door, image, look at window, image, then the image mixing is going to occur, then the zigzag like cartoon is going to take place on my retina, and I am not able to observe this mixed object distinctly. Okay. Now, dear student, on your retina, this retinal screen are very important. On your retina, there are two types of cells present on your retina. Two types of cells. One that is rod-shaped cells, and another that is cone-shaped cells. Two types of cells are present on our retinal screen. Try to understand. Rod-shaped cells, if I draw, such rod-shaped cells are there, okay, on your retinal screen. As well, cone-shaped cells are also there on our retinal screen. Now, dear student, what is actually the function of both these cells? Rod-shaped cells are known as light sensitive cell. Actually, they are trying to visualize the intensity of the light. Sometime when you are speaking, that light is less, extreme light, light is dim, understand, light is average, this tube light is not giving good light. Which is that organ of the which are those cells of the retina which are actually trying to identify the intensity of the light? So that is called light sensitive cell, dear student. And your retina has to have enough light sensitive cell. If enough number of adequate number of light sensitive cells are present on your retina, then you are able to visualize every object properly on bright sunny day or in dim light, because you need to have sufficient and adequate amount of light sensitive cells. Some people by birth, if they do not have enough light sensitive cell, understand, on their retina, then they suffer from a disease called night blindness. When you are speaking, night blindness doesn't mean that they are blind at night. Night blindness means we are not able to see the object, understand, in dim light. As suppose in morning they are able to visualize everything properly, because at that time the sun rises and bright sunny day is there. But as the day advances, understand, at the dawn, dear student, what happens when the sun is going to set? At that time in dim light, they are not able to observe because they have insufficient light sensitive cell on their retina. So it happens. Then what is the function of these concept cells actually? So try to understand, like, dear student, rod shaped cell are for sense of light. They are trying to understand the intensity of light, and these concepts, dear student, are to identify the color of the object. Okay. So color of the object is identified by these concept cells. If you want to precisely discriminate between the color and try to observe the color, then you need to have enough number of concept cells on your retinal screen. If you have less concept cells on your retinal screen, then again you suffer from a disease which we call color blind. People have misconception in their mind that color blind means they are not able to visualize all color, they see the world black and white. Not like that, dear student. They are able to see the color, but not like with the normal eye. With normal eye you can distinguish between the red color, understand, right, and magenta color very easily. Those people who are color blind are not able to dismark between red color and magenta color. They feel it difficulty to discriminate green color, peacock blue color, understand, bottle green color. They are not able to see the difference. That is called color blind. Understand? One of the greatest scientists of the world who gave the world atomic theory, Dalton, was ultimately suffering from color blind. Okay. So this is internal structure of our eye. And now, dear student, here, as you all know, optical fiber I am showing. What is the function of this optical fiber? Actually, dear student, as you all know, our human brain, we will discuss in detail in chapter number 7. Our human brain has got, understand, in our human brain, if you think of the forebrain, the large part of our brain has centers for visual reception, auditor reception, sense reception, memory. That we will discuss in chapter number 7. But remember, the front portion of the human brain, that is the largest part, cerebrum, has center for visual reception. When you are seeing anything, suppose you are seeing me, I am in front of you, and if somebody asks you, who is this person? So you say, Bharat sir. Why? Because my image is already implanted in your brain in this part. Suppose if you have met me, understand, before 7 years on the road, so will you call and shout me as Bharat sir? No, because my image is not, understand, present on your cerebrum in memory section. It is not present at all. So how can your brain identify myself? Otherwise, when before 5 or 7 years, many times we have come across, understand, and you must have seen me, but you are not able to speak my name, because my image is not implanted in your brain at all. Understand? Similarly, it happens sometimes that if you see any animal which you are seeing for the first time, any insects which you are seeing for the first time, and I ask you, what is that? So you are confused. You are able to see that image falls on your retina, but you are not able to identify the name, because your brain, the moment the image is formed here, try to understand this very important fact, dear student. When you are seeing any object, understand what is going to happen. As I taught you, okay, the ray of light from cornea, understand, goes to aqueous humor, then pupil, and then lens, and then after refraction they are going to fall on understand, on retina. Suppose the moment they fall on your retina is full of light sensitive cell which creates a signal, okay, and that light signal of the image form will travel and enters the optical fiber and goes to your brain. What is the role of your brain? It is working like the microprocessor. Understand? the moment the image which is converted into electric signal reach to your brain try to compare the image. Suppose you are knowing me, Bharat sir, my image is already in your brain. Now when you visualize me and my image falls on your retina, that light signal travel to brain and brain will immediately understand, try to match the image, and you say that this is Bharat sir. Okay? So this is the way the human eye and our brain is functioning in synchronization. Okay, dear student, one more thing. Try to understand that suppose you are not suffering from any particular defect of vision, then dear student, if you want to visualize or if you want to read anything, at least you are able to read it from distance of 25 centimeter very easily. So that distance of 25 centimeter, which is the minimum distance where a person with normal eye are able to visualize the object clearly, that minimum distance is called near point of view of eye. If you are asked in definition that define near point of view, so what is that, dear student? 25 centimeter. That is near point of view. What is the meaning of near point of view? That's the minimum distance for a normal human eye to which the objects are visualized distinctly and clearly. What is far point? No limit, dear student. Far point means what? That is the maximum distance up to which normal human eye can observe the object. That is called far point of view of normal human eye. That is infinite, dear student. That is not limit. Okay, your eye needs to be trained to visualize the far away object also clearly without the aid of even binoculars, understand, or any aid, any visual devices. Your naked eye can be able to observe object at infinite distance. That is called far point of view of your eye. For normal human eye, dear student, mark these two things. For normal human eye, what I call 25 centimeter is near point of view. Okay, and infinity is far point of view. When you are suffering from defect of vision, both this near point of view and far point of view are going to get damaged. Far point of view decreases from infinity and near point of view increases from 25 centimeter. We will discuss when we discuss about the defects of vision in our next lecture. Okay, dear student, right? So this topic I think must be very clear in your mind. You need to develop a skill of drawing a good diagram also. Okay, dear students, so in today's lecture we have completed the topic 1, where the subtopic is 1.1, power of accommodation of human eye. Now, dear student, for this particular lecture, your homework, understand, that is, as you all know, from Sawal Hamara Jawab Tumara, what is your homework? You have to write question number 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Let me write, because many students, I am writing in eye only so that you are able to see it more properly. Okay. Question number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Understand from which section? Sawal Hamara Jawab Tumara. You have to write these 5 questions. Okay. once and you need to understand and read it thoroughly. As far as the structure, internal structure are concerned, you have to be very conscious to draw a good diagram. Okay, dear student, this is homework for today's lecture. Thank you very much.